I'm going to talk to you about data management. I'm going to talk to you about different techniques. We will be looking in the field at some technology later this morning on tablets. My company, People GIS, we're a huge fan of tablets. When I get asked, after you pass a quarter century working in one market, everyone asks you, well, what is the biggest changes in the industry been? You know you've been here a long time when they ask you a question like that. And to me, a lot of folks expect me to say the internet. And I think that that's true. In GIS and data management, the internet has had a profound impact on what we do and how we do it. But tablets is every bit as big. We did a survey recently of our clients. We spend about 2/3 of our time with public works in municipalities. And we found that about 30% of our clients were using tablets in the field. For stormwater, in our opinion, this number needs to go up significantly. I know that every town I go to, they'll say, well, I know where you may have worked in a lot of towns, but in our town it's different. I grew up in Vermont. I know and understand where that comes from, that statement. But to me, in my experience, I've never seen an issue face communities that required a move to digital data like stormwater. There's a lot of headaches that are coming your way. We all know that. This team here, we're going to try to provide you with insights to help with that. For me, my focus is data management. This slide just shows some of the things. On the left, a lot of mapping. A lot of you, I'm familiar with a lot of your data, and you have a really great start. A lot of folks do. And that's terrific. I mean, gosh, we've been waiting for this permit for 8 years. So it's not like it all of a sudden showed up. But nonetheless, a lot of you have a good starting point. And so that's not so big a deal. And the term GIS is something we're all familiar with these days. There's nothing new here. But we do hope to give you some insight today and put away some of the thoughts as to how hard this can be, because it really doesn't have to be that hard. But you have all the data in the field too: field screenings, labs, inspections, lots and lots of inspections, recording your catch basin cleanings, taking photos in the field. Right now, I asked my staff last week if they could track how many photos our clients are uploading every day. And last week, we received over 900 photos a day. So our guys are in the field. Our people are in the field with tablets, and they're taking photos. There's nothing better than a picture. And you're going to see that need a lot in your work with stormwater. And even understanding your vehicles and where you store them and what have you. We'll take a look at a situation here in Needham a little later. But nonetheless, there's a lot of data to maintain. There's a lot of data to enter. So from my perspective, I leave, even though I am an engineer, I leave the engineering to my partners, Fuss and O'Neill here. It's their job to talk to you and work on the engineering aspects. This leaves me the opportunity to focus on data. And I see stormwater differently than others. I see it as a huge bookkeeping exercise. There's so much data that needs to be moving from one end, the field, to the other, reporting to folks that are behind this permit. And this slide is to make that point. Paper will kill you. It's kind of an aggressive statement. But nonetheless, I was in a meeting last week on the South Shore, and I was talking to a community, and they wanted to talk with me about their huge GIS program in regards to their stormwater. And indeed, they had a lot of things mapped, and I was really happy for them in that regards. But every inspection, every piece of data that they were collecting was on paper. They had it in milk crates on a table in Public Works. An intern was now taking all this paper and entering it into a spreadsheet so that they could summarize it. This was their data management program. A lot of you are smiling. You may have milk crates back at your Public Works full of paper as well, and maybe that's your plan. But here in Needham, 4,300 catch basins, nearly 6,500 pipes and culverts, a few thousand manholes, and 350 outfalls. Inspections, investigations, inspection histories to be able to know what happened at these point locations over the last few years, field screenings. This is a lot of paper. Conversely, tablets will save you. It's essentially GIS in the field. You're looking at an application that we'll use later today called Quick Asset. The ability to click on a map and do whatever you need at that location. This is new in 2016 for us, and our testing clients just love it. The ability to click on a catch basin and open an inspection and just get it done. And when you walk away from that catch basin, it's filed. It's done. Even the map changes color to indicate your progress. To be able to link photos to your GIS and walk away without having to handle anything. Automated reporting, the ability to have your data that you just captured moments ago in the field be part of your reporting process instantly. These are the things that make it worth it. And I think that we'll try to make this point over and over today. You know, Bill had a nice table, and I'd like to put mine out there too. I mean, there's a lot of information here, and we have this, 10-year project that we're all looking at. The ability to put together information about our outfalls and our catch basins and manholes, and there's a schedule to this, and this is what all of us will be working with all of you on over the next 10 years, but reality setting the stage for this 10 years in the next few months. Traditional GIS mapping, in our opinion, is just not going to be quite enough. Now, certainly, I had that slide about paper, and there will be communities that use paper. But I think what we're seeing here predominantly out there is folks using GIS. Here you're looking at a slide of mapping watersheds and tributary areas. This is out of Woburn. Good morning, Jay. How are you? And the opportunity for these guys in Woburn, they've got a lot of things mapped already, and this is a town that's doing their stormwater program in-house, and they're making tremendous progress very, very quickly. And of course, going out there with GPS, many of us have experienced this already, and putting points on the map and drawing the lines between those points, and here you're seeing, if you may not be able to from your seats, but flow direction as well. So this is all traditional GIS, whether you're using GPS or planimetric mapping, which is the line work that we receive from aerophotography, and even field discovery as well. One of the misnomers out there that I think we want to be really aware of, there's a movement in GIS from a single point to a distributed ownership model. What I mean by that is that a lot of towns have a GIS person or a GIS consultant. And so imagine being in the field and you see a catch basin like we have right out here in Needham that is not mapped yet in their GIS. So what happens? Well, they'll send an email or a phone call to this GIS person, and then 2 months later that GIS person will come out and they will map it with really expensive GPS, and then it'll get added to the GIS, and that goes through some quality assurance processes, and now it comes back to the person in the field, and next year they'll go out there and maybe do an inspection of the catch basin. That is yesterday's news. Today it's about clicking on the map with your tablet, and everyone will tell you that tablet is not accurate enough to map my stormwater. I understand where they're coming from, but you have an aerial photo or a base map on the tablet. There are 3 catch basins back here and behind the garages that are not mapped in Needham's GIS. They show up in the aerial photo. So click on the photo, add the point to your database, and then inspect it 30 seconds later, and you're in business. And what we teach our clients is, you want that high level of accuracy? That's terrific. So let your guys, if they find things in the field, let them map them with their tablets, and once a year, send somebody out there to go to those draft locations and lock them down with better GPS. End of story. No lost time in the field, no lost data, no missed inspections. That's another advantage of tablets. So today's GIS is more than just maps, and we've been talking about this tablet with these GIS tools on it. You may notice that websites now are all tablet focused. We're going to that mode. Being able to use your fingers to interact with your tablet. What I love about tablets is they're so much better than the mouse that we all grew up with. My 8 and 11-year-olds, I gave them this tool to play with, and they were using it in minutes, which disturbed me a little. because I built it and it took me longer than that. But nonetheless, to use your fingers, I love demos where they do it with the stylus, because that stylus lasts somewhere between 9 and 11 minutes in the field, and then it's gone forever. But you use your fingers, you use the tablet's GPS, you use the base map and the aerial photography in your screen, and you can really achieve great results. You upload photos. 2 clicks. If you're going to work with tools like this, by all means, don't put your field guys in the disadvantage of having to know your entire GIS. They're not going to. It's not what they do. And so you need to be able to click on a feature, open your inspection form, or click on a feature and create a work order, or click on a feature and enter field screening results. 2 clicks and you're in. And then on the bottom, map the found features. That's one of my favorites. Your guys are out there in the field. They're going to find things. Let them map them. Mark them as draft. Today we'll map a few points, and hopefully at the end I'll show you where the system will actually send me an email indicating that some field guys found a new point out there in Needham and I need to look at it. So GIS is not just maps. We even have these email alerts. Here you're looking, I wish we'd chosen a different color than red there, but these are some sampling results where the various parameters were over the limits that we wanted. And so here we just have a map that shows these, and this can help us in our investigations and what have you. This is all automatic. And in addition to this, we can even, when we get a result from in the field with field screenings, or if we get a result that comes back from the lab, we can have emails go out with a summary report showing you, here's our violation locations, and start the ball rolling, which is a heck of a lot different than receiving a paper report from the lab, having to read through it and having to figure out where those results belong on the map and starting from scratch. It's all about eliminating that handwork that we're all have too little time to deal with. So here's catch basin inspections. So you're looking here in yellow, these are catch basin inspections that need to be done for the year. We just went with all of them at this point in time. And in green on the northern half and on the southern tier there, you can see where those are catch basin inspections that are completed. And so now as these 2 teams work towards the middle of town, we're keeping track of this in real time. Next year, when we start to enter information about how full each catch basin was, the GIS can actually tell you which ones need to be cleaned and which ones do not. This is a new thing. The permit is setting us up for this, the ability to determine where we're going to go with our efforts in the field. And then again, a GIS more than just maps. Here we have a new report that we're actually still working on as we ourselves get more familiar with the permit, but this is an opportunity to do an inspection summary. You have all these activities going on in the field, and the opportunity now to have reports telling you where you're at in each category on a single page. And this one here, some of our towns that we're working with, the folks in charge of stormwater would like this sent to them by email Monday morning at 8 o'clock every week so they can see their progress. So today's demo, when we go out in the field, we're going to break you up into groups, and I will be in one of those areas. We're going to have a couple of tablets going, and we're going to be able to show you this particular tool here, and we will be able to visit some features. We'll map some new features. We'll inspect some features with this 2-click process and give you an understanding of what it's like. We found some outfalls out here, which I'm sure Rick Merson's really happy about, and we'll add those points and photograph them, document them, and give you a feel for the kind of load that these tools can take off your back. Look at that. 9/10. Thank you very much.